The morning rush at the Silver Spoon Diner was loud and busy, plates clattering and coffee machines hissing. Among the noise moved Lily, a quiet, shy waitress who always kept her head down. She never spoke much, but she had a gentle smile that made even the grumpiest customers soften. She had been working there for only a few months, always arriving early and staying late to help clean. No one knew much about her, except that she lived alone and rarely talked about her past. That morning, as Lily wiped down the counter, the diner doors opened and a tall man in a tailored suit walked in. Everyone turned to stare. It was Ethan Reed, the billionaire tech CEO whose face was constantly on the news. He was followed by 2 bodyguards and an older woman with kind eyes and silver hair. Lily recognized her immediately. Margaret Reed, Ethan's mother. She had read that Mrs. Reed was deaf and that Ethan had built several schools and charities for people with hearing loss. But seeing them here, in a small-town diner, felt surreal. They sat in the corner booth by the window. Ethan spoke to his mother not with words, but with his hands, clear, practiced signs that flowed naturally. Lily froze when she saw it. It had been years since she'd seen anyone use sign language like that. Her own mother had been deaf too before she passed away. As Lily approached their table, she noticed Mrs. Reed watching her carefully. The older woman smiled and raised her hand slightly, signing a simple hello. Without thinking, Lily smiled back and signed, "Good morning, how are you today?" Mrs. Reed's eyes lit up with surprise. She responded quickly, her hands moving gracefully. Ethan looked up, startled, then turned to see his mother laughing. Really laughing. He glanced at Lily, realizing she was signing fluently with his mother. "You know sign language?" he asked. Lily nodded shyly. "My mom was deaf. I learned as a child." Mrs. Reed touched her heart and signed, "You're very sweet. No one here ever talks to me." Lily's throat tightened. She signed back softly, "I'm happy to talk with you." For the rest of their meal, the 3 of them chatted through signs and smiles. Mrs. Reed asked about Lily's family, and Ethan occasionally joined in, though mostly he just watched, quietly amazed at how comfortable his mother looked. When they finished eating, Ethan stood to pay, but his mother caught Lily's hand and signed, "We'll come back soon, but only if you're here." Lily smiled, nodding. "I'll be here," she signed back. And they did return, the next day and the day after. It became a routine. Mrs. Reed loved talking to Lily, and Ethan seemed to enjoy seeing his mother so happy. Sometimes they all shared little jokes. Other times they simply sat in silence, signing softly between bites. But one morning, Ethan noticed something different. Lily's hands trembled as she carried their tea, and her eyes looked tired, darker than usual. After his mother went to the restroom, he leaned forward. "You look exhausted. Are you okay?" Lily tried to smile. "Just long hours." "You shouldn't overwork yourself," he said kindly. "Do you study?" She hesitated. "I used to. I was studying speech therapy, but I had to drop out when my mum passed away. Rent and bills came first." Ethan nodded slowly, his expression softening. "That's admirable. My mother always says people who listen with their hearts are rare. You seem to do that naturally." Lily looked down, blushing. "I just understand how it feels to not be heard." When Mrs. Reed came back, she looked between them curiously, but said nothing. That day, Ethan stayed quieter than usual, deep in thought. A week later, when Lily came in for her shift, the manager called her aside. "There's someone waiting for you," he said nervously. In the corner booth sat Ethan, alone this time, dressed casually for once. On the table was a small envelope. "Is your mother all right?" Lily asked, concerned. "She's perfect," Ethan said, smiling. "She asked me to give you this." Lily opened the envelope carefully. Inside was a letter written in elegant handwriting and a folded check. Her hands began to shake. The letter was from the Reed Foundation for Hearing and Communication, offering her a full scholarship to return to college and finish her degree in speech therapy. Lily's eyes widened. "Ethan, I can't." He raised a hand. "You can. You deserve it. My mother said you reminded her of what kindness feels like. You made her feel seen again." Tears filled Lily's eyes. "I didn't do anything special." Ethan smiled gently. "You did more than you know." Then, hesitating for a moment, he lifted his hands and began to sign slowly, not perfectly, but with care. "Thank you for giving my mother her smile back." Lily covered her mouth, trying not to cry. She signed back through her tears, "Thank you for giving me hope again." Everyone in the diner had fallen silent, watching the scene unfold. The billionaire and the shy waitress speaking without words, only their hands moving in quiet grace. Some of the other waitresses wiped at their eyes. Even the manager looked away, pretending not to tear up. Ethan stood and gave her a small nod before leaving. Lily held the letter against her chest, tears streaming down her face. Months later, the diner's wall had a new photo framed near the counter, Lily in a graduation gown, standing between Ethan and Mrs. Reed. Beneath it was a small plaque that read, "Kindness needs no sound, only a heart that listens." And every time Ethan and his mother visited, Lily would greet them not with words, but with her hands, the same hands that once served coffee and now spoke the language of compassion, gratitude, and love. Word count, 814. Would you like me to now write the SEO YouTube title, description, keywords, and hashtags, high CTR for this story?